Joining us right now, two-time NCAA champion, Justyn Knight. Justyn, thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me.
First off, obviously you made big news joining the Reebok Boston Track Club. Just explain to us a little bit how that came together, the process. We saw you get runner-up at NCAAs, and then next we saw you're in Reebok gear. How'd that all come about?
Yeah, so I mean, throughout the whole year at Syracuse, I knew that I'd be getting recruited by a lot of companies, and knowing that I kind of want to focus on being the best that I can be, focus on winning championships, still running fast times. So I I told everyone that who has ever tried to try to contact me that you guys can talk to my parents for now, but until the season's over, I'll be focusing on NCAAs. And towards the end, I know it came down to Reebok and Nike. Those were the main groups that I was looking at, and the decision that I made. I couldn't have made a wrong decision, and it was really interesting. Coach Fox was going to be the coach for Reebok, so that was very appealing as well. And then I made a couple of visits, and I really liked what I had to see. And then I signed the papers, and now I'm a Reebok guy.
So Coach Fox got in place first. I mean, that's a pretty cool arrangement that you have. Not every college star gets to stick with his coach. Is that how it came about? He came first,
yeah,
and then you?
It's not as simple as that. It was kind of like Coach Fox. It was kind of a rumor, and then as I was getting recruited to Reebok, they said, if you come here, our chances of Coach Fox wanting to coach here at Reebok would increase. And that's kind of how it went about.
So it was kind of Reebok was using kind of you to recruit Chris Fox and using Chris Fox to recruit you? Is that what you're trying to say?
I guess you can say it like that. It was kind of like, if I was going to Reebok, Coach Fox was going to Reebok.
So going to Reebok, obviously, as you know, is not a typical process for a star athlete like yourself.
Yeah.
Why did you want to take that, we can call it a risk, to try to do something different from what hasn't been done in the past 10, 20 years?
Well, I think oftentimes runners kind of forget that it's not necessarily the company that makes you into the athlete that you are. It is the athlete's job. It's the work that we put in, and it's also the work of the coach. If you have a great coach, then chances are you'll produce a great time. To be honest, when I was in high school, I ran in Saucony shoes, and then when I was in, I think I ran in Asics too for spikes, and then I got introduced to Nike because Syracuse is a Nike school, and I was always the same athlete that I was. It was kind of like a transition between I was working harder and I was getting coached at a more elite level, and that kind of made me into the athlete that I am today. And that being said, when I was making my decision, it wasn't so much of a brand versus brand thing. It was just which scenario, which setup will be better for me to succeed at a higher level. And it was very hard, but I think once I weighed all the options and all the minor details and stuff within the contract, I thought that Reebok was the company for me to go with.
When are we going to see you race again?
You'll see me race this weekend, actually. Right now, I'm prepping for the NCAA championship. I'm going to be representing Canada in the 5K. It's a pretty good field. I think Riley Masters is in it, Hassan Mead, Kamoy Campbell, Emmanuel Bohr. Those are the couple names that are going to be in it. I think it's only a 9-person race, unfortunately, but that will be my first and last race of the summer, and then I'll be prepping for next year.
Speaking of prepping for next year, is anyone else going to be joining you that hasn't been announced already for future training partners and teammates for this newly created Reebok group?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're heavily recruiting people. You might see some big names that join, familiar names, and nothing's official yet. So I'm pretty sure everybody's still in the recruiting process, but it's to my hope that we can get some more guys, and we're definitely going to become a really elite level training group.
Why Virginia? Why is that where you're going to be training and creating the group?
Yeah, I think Virginia is very like we've been there a lot of times, as you know. Like we race in Charlottesville at UVA for I think it's the Virginia Challenge or something like that. So I'm familiar with that area a little bit, as well as Coach Fox is kind of from that DMV area as well. So it's almost like a homecoming for him. He's very familiar with the trails over there and kind of the area. Also, I know it's no secret, you know, Syracuse doesn't have the best weather in the world. So I think once you get to a place with a more steady climate and, you know, it's going to be better for us training-wise all year round. And I think it's just a great environment for distance runners to excel in.
Dare I say it? I'm not to put you on the spot, but
yeah,
Virginia. When I think of Virginia, I think of what athletes are from Virginia who aren't signed. Is there any? Do you think there's a chance someone like, I don't know, Sean McGorty would think about joining you? Be American Canadian dual 5K runners.
I mean, that would be really cool. I'm really good friends with Sean, just because like he was one of the first American kids that I've raced against. Obviously I do know that he's from Virginia, and you know, I think that would probably appeal him more, knowing that there's a group starting in Virginia. But I'm not too sure how his recruiting process is going, just because, you know, I've been really busy with mine. But I'm sure that he's thought about it. But hopefully we can. I mean, he should make an announcement soon enough. He's a good enough athlete to be heavily recruited by everybody. So, yeah.
You guys had such a tight-knit group and such a successful group at Syracuse. Are you concerned or worried at all about, you know, going pro where it's tough to have that same environment, that same feeling that you had all those years in Syracuse?
Yeah, I definitely think that the environment's going to change. I think, you know, one, for most, I have a lot more free time on my hands. It's not like I have to go to class anymore or anything. But I think just being as close to the guys, you know, as of right now, you know, I'll be living by myself in my own apartment or condo or something like that. So I think, you know, that there will be a transition there. But I think the way that we're going to develop our program, we're going to still see each other every day. We're going to have a meeting spot. It's going to be ran very similar to like the way my coach ran college. Like we're going to all try our best to run together all the time. Assuming that our schedules and racing schedules permit it. But in regards to like just having roommates and stuff like that, like it's going to be a little bit different. But I think that's just life. That's just growing up, you know.
What'd you do with your first check?
I haven't done anything with my first check yet. You know, don't expect like any crazy purchases from me. I think, you know, actually I did an interview with CBC in Canada. And they said I was going to purchase a Gucci couch, but it was a typo. I said I want to purchase a Gucci pouch, which is like a thing. So, you know, you'll see on Instagram if I get it. You'll see I'll probably show it off and stuff. But you know, I'm not going to live that much of a different life than I'm living now. You know, you got to be smart with your money. Athletics doesn't last forever, so you got to make sure that you know, you have something to rely on in the future.
So now that you're a Reebok athlete, we need to ask a Reebok athlete your throwback shoe power rankings. You got the Iversons, Shaqs, and the Sean Kemps. Those great Reebok basketball shoes. What's your power ranking? Start at number 3 and work your way up.
From the bottom and up?
Yeah. What's number 3 on that list?
Number 3 is Sean Kemp. I'm sorry.
You didn't like the diagonal lines?
No, I don't know. I think especially when I was a kid, it was more so like I knew Shaq and Iverson. So like anything they put out, like they could have put out pink shoes and I probably would have liked it. So based off of that, I think like Shaq is second. I had a pair of Shaq shoes when I was younger. You know, I can't even squeeze my foot into them now because they're so small. And then number 1 would just be the Iversons, in my opinion.
Nice.
Are you gonna get it? You gonna get a custom shoe?
Me? I hope so. You know, if I can perform as well as I have been and improving, and you know, actually be a face of the company like I'm trying to do. You know, who knows? Maybe there'll be the Justyn Knight 23s or something like that coming out.
23s. I like that.
There you go. So obviously, you got a nice little plaque or frame thing behind you with the Syracuse jersey.
Oh, there it is.
Win national championship 2015.
Yeah.
not in college anymore. Obviously, Syracuse they lost their big three, but you still got some young guys in Affolter and Tooker. What are your thoughts on the cross country season? Taking yourself away from being a fan of Syracuse.
Man, you mean as a whole, like looking at my program or looking at cross country, like the NCAA?
Like who's your top 4 teams? I guess who do you think's going to win? Assuming Syracuse wasn't running in the race.
And you can't put Sean Kemp at the bottom.
We're not going to talk about Syracuse at all, man, because I'm always saying Syracuse is going to win. So we're just going to take out a discussion.
Assuming Syracuse won, who gets second? There you go.
Okay, even better. A lot of guys are going to be mad at me because I have a lot of friends on different teams. I do think NAU is going to come back really strong. I think their program, it kind of reminds me the way we were back in 2015, where it's like they have a lot of guys there and everybody's so hungry to just be on that top 7, top 5 squad. And, when you have guys competing against each other like that every day, you only get great results. Like my boy Peter Lamong, just look at his result last year. I remember he messaged me earlier on in the season, or before the season started actually in August, and he was like, how do I be better? And he was asking me for advice, like, what to eat, how do I recover, stuff like that. And, I gave him a good spiel, like we're good friends, and I was just real with him and told him some of the sacrifices you have to make and everything. And he really followed through with it. And then, you saw his amazing performance at cross country, and I think their team really gets that. Like mentally, they're all there, so I'll have them as number 1. And plus, they have like a lot of key returners coming back.
And they got Brody Hasty now, the big change.
And they got Brody. Yeah, that was a surprise. That was crazy. I think they're gonna be great. Second, man, I'm trying to remember who's on which team.
Well, you have BYU, you have Portland, Stanford, Iowa State's pretty good.
Now Portland, do they have a lot of guys graduating?
No, they returned a bunch. They lose 2, but they have some younger guys who are good.
They're another program I really respect because, as I said, like it reminds me of back in 2015, like we didn't have all the star recruits and stuff, but we had a lot of workers, and I feel like Portland has a lot of workers that are like, they understand what their role is and they know that they have to get it done. I think BYU, I can't give you an order, but I think it's going to be BYU, Stanford. They have a great group of guys. Hopefully all of them are healthy and everything, led by Grant Fisher. And I'll say Portland's up there. I think my dark horse, maybe I'll say dark horse Portland.
There you
BYU.
Go.
I know Rory's gonna be so mad at me because you're for BYU, but I don't know. It's just it can go. That's the beauty of cross country. It can go either way. You already know that. So that's a hard question, guys.
Are you gonna try to get out to any cross country meets this year?
Yeah, I think definitely I'll try to support my team. Who knows? Hopefully they miss me enough where they'll be like excited to see me again. But I'll definitely try to support my team and go out there. And then around NCAA time, I would just have to see what my schedule's like. And definitely in the future, like I'm a diehard Syracuse fan, so I'll definitely be at some meets in the future.
I have one more question. Obviously, when you're in the NCAA system, priorities are different with training. You're trying to peak for indoors and outdoors. Now you got a full year of the purpose is just being really good in Doha. What are your goals? Like, what expectations do you want to get out of this 2019 long season coming up?
Yes. I'm seeing, and as you said, like, that's really important. I feel like before I touch on that, like, it's been a really long 3 years for me. Just in terms of consistency, I feel like, I've always been in the running top 5 in cross country, indoors and outdoors consistently. No injuries or anything, and always kind of extending my summer for trying to make the Olympic team, which I didn't, and doing the World Championships. So like it's been a long 3 years for me, and after this race, I probably get to have a proper break and preparing for indoors and outdoors. I'm really excited because I definitely think my mile time can go down. Last year when I ran 3:55. To be honest, before the race, my coach Fox literally told me, let's try to break 4. Like, let's try to get 3:59. But if you don't break 4, don't be upset at yourself. Like, I know you're tired and stuff, or you're not like necessarily in great shape. I don't know what it is about that Boston track, but somehow I pulled off a 3:55. But looking forward to that, I'm going to have a lot of recovery. I've never had any base training either, so I've never, like for cross country, I've usually ran about like maybe 45 minutes at the max when I was training for cross country in the summer, just because I had an extended season. And knowing that like this year I could take a healthy break and then also try to develop a base to get stronger, I feel like my 5K time should be lowered significantly. And obviously I want to compete well at World Championships coming that next year. And I think seeing that I already made it to the finals the last time in London, I think that my goal should try to be like getting on the podium. And whether that's realistic or not, I always like to set high expectations for myself, so that if all's said and done and it doesn't go exactly the way I want to, I'm still like competing on a high level and running a fast time. So those are kind of some of my goals, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you say you're going to run a fast mile. So we're going to see a night Ches mile at BU next year. Is that the plan?
I'm gonna, my agent will talk to Chez's agent, and to be honest, like I would love for that to happen. I miss Ches. He always pushed me to my limit, and I think definitely that I'm getting stronger too. That he could benefit from having me in the race as well, and I think it'd just be great. It'd be like an old fashioned like old NCAA. I wouldn't even say it's a rivalry, but it'd be like an old NCAA matchup. I think it'd be really fun.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Justyn. Congrats on the contract. Congrats on the upcoming Gucci pouch. We look forward to watching you race this weekend and in 2019 and beyond. Appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Justyn.
No problem.
All right. Thanks again to our guest, Justyn Knight, who joined us, Gordon, to give us a little behind the scenes there of the signing, and also give us something to look forward to. I think he can break 13 next year. And if he can break 13 in the 5,000, he's absolutely a medal contender.
If he could break 13 in the 5,000, he's a world leader, because no one can break 13 in the 5,000 in 2018.
Yes, we're coming up. I've mentioned the stat in writing, and I've mentioned it probably on the air a million times. 1993 was the last time a year went by where no man broke 13 minutes in the 5,000. And unless someone's going to do it at the Diamond League final, it's not going to happen. But cool to talk to Justyn. You've covered Justyn for a number of years now. Just one of the nicest guys to talk to. Win, loss. He won more than he lost, definitely, but even in losses, would always be very generous with his time and very complimentary of his opponents. Yeah,
he was definitely like the model star athlete I feel like the NCAA can have. He was confident, but he wasn't too cocky, but he wasn't shy and like, I don't know if I'll win. He put himself out there, which was great. So I'm excited to see what he does. He says he's got some new guys coming maybe eventually.
You're trying to pin him down.
I was trying to get him to pin down Sean McGorty going back to his hometown, a la LeBron going to Cleveland or something like that. But we'll see. And AI's over Shaq's shoes.
That was a bold take. But is that generation? Well, no, they were
Shaq and AI are
same time, yeah. Kemp maybe a little too early for him.
Kemp is a little older, yeah.
We're old.
And Kemp,
I was worried he was going to say, who's Sean Kemp? Honestly.
No, he's a basketball fan. He's got it.
All right.
So
Euro champs.
Euro champs going down live on FloTrack if you live in North America.
Some highlights.
Do
you want to check out some highlights?
Let's do 10K. You got the 10K highlight?
Yeah, let's roll with this 10K here. Yeah. So walk us through this.
Oh, I'll run you through this, because this is our man. Look at that Frenchman. First time since
Ouani.
It's the first time ever there's been a World Cup champion, French, and 10K champion. I made that setup.
Oh, you're doing a soccer
10K track crossover. No, what I'm saying is France has never won the European 10K, and he did it there, closing in 56 seconds. Anui taking the victory. It's his second 10K ever, right?
Yeah.
Second 10K ever, and he's a European champion. Pretty cool. So that was exciting. But then the more exciting parts of that meet were the sprints.
Yeah. So we had some cool sprints. We had Dean Asher-Smith run 10:85, set a British record, which was pretty awesome.
We don't have the videos for you, but it's okay. Asher Smith runs 10.85. Does that make her a medal contender in 2019?
It does make her a medal contender in 2019. Ties her for the world lead, which is phenomenal, and it also puts her on track, I think. I mean, to kind of have a little nice run between 19 and 20, which I think is going to be. I mean, it's a competitive field there, right? When you have Toulouse, when you have Tori Bowie, when everybody gets involved, that's going to get involved. And Asher Smith, only 22 years old, though. Sticking with the basketball theme, she was not around for the first Bulls three-peat. I mean, it was pretty remarkable. And she's still cranking out 10.85. She has the best 7 marks all time for Great Britain. So it's not just one, it's not just two, it's not just a one-off performance, but 10.85 left Daphne Shippers in the dust there, and Luckenkamper of Germany comes up for second to pass Shippers as well, too. We're going to try to pull that video up for you as well. On the men's side of things, Zarnell Hughes and Reese Prescott made it 1-2 for Great Britain, which was remarkable, 9.95 and 9.96. Again, this is all live on FloTrack in North America, so you can check that all out. But all in all, a great day, Gordon, for Great Britain in both sprints. We'll get this women's.
Yo, we got it right here?
Here we go.
Look at this.
Here we go.
I'm not sure if it's happening. Our producer, who's outside this booth, we're good.
We got
Check
it
this
going.
out. Boom. Asher Smith going for it.
I mean, terrible start by Shippers, but that's nothing new. Third from right. But this was all about Asher Smith. I mean, just complete dominance, really coming into her own. She's won Euro titles before, but not that quick. 10.85. You start going under 10.9, that puts you in select company, particularly in
people seeing my desktop. This is
the
bad.
year 2018. No, they're on me now. They're looking at me now because now we're going to queue up the Reese Prescott Zarnell Hughes video, that men's 100, which I mean much closer than the women's race, but Great Britain is going to be a force. They're going to be the #1 opponent for the United States going into 19 and 20 for the men's side of things. We got to look here at the men's 100. Lane 4 empty because of Jimmy Vico. He scratched after running 9.97 in the semis. But Hughes and Prescott 1-2 here. Almost got the sweep of CJ Uja, but he got 4th, got beat out by Harvey of Turkey.
I met Zarnell Hughes in 2014.
Really?
When he was in Jamaica, competing for one of the Jamaican high schools. I think Jamaica College or Kingston College, one of those. It was a purple school. And he was young. Everyone's thinking like maybe he's the next Bolt because he was breaking Jamaica champ records in the 100. Kind of had been slow to get to where he is now, but I feel like now he's in the prime of his career and again running 9.95.
Only 23. Prescott's super young. Like, Great Britain has a legit 4x1, and they have a legit just 100-meter squad. We were getting excited about 9.95s because, I mean, what's the world lead? 9.88. So Hughes is right in there, right in the picture. And there's Harvey, who got 3rd.
But enough about Euros.
Yeah, we have footage.
We do?
We have rare footage because this took a while to get. But we
Took
have
a very long time.
We have rare footage of the Shelby Houlihan 14:34 American record from Belgium. It's on the site. You guys can watch it, but we'll play it here now.
Let's just watch it. Let's just enjoy it and talk over it. So you got Houlihan's 5K U.S. record, and it's interesting that Schumacher loves to do this. Instead of going for the records in like a Diamond League or a big like a Milrose Games or like whatever these type, he always sends his athletes to these low key meets here in Houston. Sometimes they go to BU.
This wasn't low key. I mean, this turned into the U.S. champ. Look at all the people in there. There's Mariel Hall. There's Krisha Swagger. There's Vanessa Frazier.
It's paced for the U.S. record as opposed to running 14:15.
Yeah.
So that's the whole purpose.
Huddle's there.
Huddle.
It was like the U.S. championships in Belgium, basically, is what it was. Flanagan doing the yeoman's work here with the pacing and Corey McGee up front as well.
For those who want to know how we got this footage, our man Ryan Fenton.
Everybody knows Ryan Fenton.
Contacted the meet crew and it's like, hey man, there was an American record that went down. Shelby Houlihan is the GOAT right now.
Yeah.
We need footage of this. And they're like, all right, we're going to find it for you.
For Fenton,
a local TV.
Anything is possible.
Local TV who's doing just a feature on a Belgian runner. Just the Belgian runners at this meet.
Yeah.
Was just filming the race for B-roll purposes. That's why we don't have the full 5K. Luckily, we got to see the final lap, which was running sub 47 seconds.
Final 300.
Final 300. Yeah, final 300.
I mean,
look at she's
dialed in.
Right here, 200 to go, she starts accelerating.
Yeah, Shelby Houlihan is just putting on a masterclass this entire summer. She just looks so comfortable, so smooth, so effortless. And she wins this race by she beat Molly Huddle by over 20 seconds, which is just insane. There's Shalane.
Shalane cheering on her teammate.
I mean, how cool is that? A New York City Marathon champion cheering for you in the last 100.
Well, here's the thing. She breaks a 5K U.S. record, right? I think we all keep on saying you're a 1,500-meter runner because of the way she's been winning 1,500 meters.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm a 5K runner. That's what coach says I am.
Sure.
And we're like, bull, no, you're a 1,500. So then she's like, no, I'm a 5K runner.
Best part right here, hold on.
Right?
Best part here when Huddle finds out. What did you run?
Yeah.
Because she thought she said 40.
Right?
She thought she said 43.
Look at that. Whoa. Whoa.
That's the...
She thought it was 14:44.
44, and then Houlihan goes 30. We know this from a tweet. Houlihan says, no, it was 34, and then she goes, oh my gosh, it was 34. So you can check that full thing out on the
Shelby,
site.
5K or 1,500 meter runner?
Like, what is she better at, or what should she run?
What's she better at? No, what's she better at?
Globally, 1,500. If they both run the same day at a championship and she had to pick one, 1,500. But she should absolutely run both, especially because the schedule is 15 first and then 5. I get you. What would you say?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also shorter. I don't want to run like 12 laps.
Well,
I get tired.
Well, she can go either way. She can run with the kickers, right? She can do a sit and kick race, and she can also run flat out and run sub 4. So great race there by Shelby. Really excited. Want to play that footage for you guys. Some other news that we want to touch on. NCAA news, Brody Hasty. We mentioned it to Justyn in the interview. Got released from his commitment to Oregon and is now going to NAU because NAU needed another guy.
Okay, here's the thing. Let's bring up my Instagram right here. We're gonna do some Instagram.
Careful, we don't know what's on Gordon's Instagram.
Watch this. So, how did people find out that Brody Hasty was this? So you're like looking at his Instagram. It's Brody Hasty's Instagram. Oh, let's look at his friend right here. This is how people found out that he was going to NAU. I'm not kidding. So this is his friend. You figure this out. You click here. Wait, is that? No, that's not him. Hold on. There's a purpose to what I'm about to do. Here we go. You go here. This guy, whoever this guy is, Scott here, right? And then you go here, right? And you find another friend who is...
Is it Max?
I think it's Max. Boom, right? And then you go here, and you're like, oh, this is a random photo by Max Benson, right? And then you click here, and look at this. NAU Flagstaff tagged to a photo of Hasty, and they're saying we're going to get lost in the Rocky Mountains. I thought you're going to Oregon. This was 6 days ago. I see this, and I'm like, wait a minute. I text people. I text the assistant coach, and he smiles back at me, and I'm like, it's happening.
Wow. And that, folks, was a Gordon Mack Instagram investigation.
There you go. But now he's there.
9 clicks away, and you got him. Real quick, this puts NAU as the clear favorite.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. There's a part of us who are kind of thinking BYU is going to be really scary because if you look at last year's, BYU's best runners had bad races or average races, and NAU's worst runners had amazing races. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't always happen. So if it happens the other way around, BYU is more scary, I think, than people think, even though they got third. So, but adding Brody Hasty replaces the loss of Andy Truard, I think, really well, because Truard was like a top 30 guy. Mm-hmm. Hasty will finish in the top 35 for sure.
His 3K this spring was phenomenal. Everybody was focusing on the mile, and could he break 5? But that 3,000 he ran.
I know. I thought he did break 5. He broke 5 in the
4.
mile.
Excuse me. Talking about me. Last segment, in case you missed it, ICYMI. African champs. We had standout performances by these two folks on Gordon's laptop. Caster Semenya, 49.96, and Nigel Amos upsetting Gordon's BFF.
Oh, gosh.
The future 1 minute and 39-second 800-meter runner Emmanuel Carrera went down at the hands of Nigel Amos. Are you okay?
I was upset.
Friend,
I think,
so sad?
all the greats need to take L's every now and then.
What was his last 200? Amos' last 200?
25 flat.
That was a serious last 200.
0.00.
Yeah. Incredible.
Man. Okay, so who are you taking in 2019? Amos or Correa?
I would still probably take Career.
There you go.
I would still take Career. The other thing I want to mention, Sir Walter Myler was last week. 13 men. Every man who finished in the men's race broke 4, led by Lopez Lamong, who went 3:53.86. And in the women's race, Gordon got so excited. He lost his headphone. Women's race, Lipsy, 4:27.28. You can see her Thursday night live on FloTrack at the Westchester Mile. You can indeed. She's racing a field. Sierra Brown is also in that field. So if you want to look at another 800 runner who's kind of hinting, moving up, or at least doing some over distance training, she's going to get a good run from Sierra Brown. In that race, Emily Lapari, who just PR'd, is also in the Westchester Mile. It should be a good race.
What day is it?
It's Thursday night.
It's tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow night.
Thursday night.
Tomorrow night. Well, if people are watching this tomorrow, I want to make sure they.
So it's tonight then. What if they watch it on Friday?
It's Thursday night.
Happened.
It's Thursday night, August 9th, and you can watch it over under 427 for Lipsy.
There you go.
No, over under.
Oh, under.
I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking.
You ever heard of that question?
Over.
Over?
Yeah.
Slower than Sir Walter?
It's gonna be a kicker's race.
A kicker's race.
Kicker's
Ooh,
race.
Sierra Brown could get in there.
4:29.78. That's the winning time.
Writing that down.
Write that down.
All right. Thanks to our guest, Justyn Knight, for joining us.
Thank you.